To search for patients, you will need to build a query in the Find Patients panel, where you will define inclusion and exclusion criteria using concepts from the terms list on the left. When you identify a term you want to include in your query, simply drag it over to the center panel. As you drag an initial term over, a highlighted box appears where you can drop the term. Once dropped, the term will be listed in this first panel showing Find Patients with the condition diabetes mellitus. To add additional terms, drag them to the same panel or a new panel. Terms placed in the same panel are ORed together, while terms in different panels are ANDed together. For example, to include additional terms that are indicators of the same condition or status, you can add those terms to the same panel. In this case, creating a query that reads, Find patients with diabetes mellitus or a family history of diabetes mellitus. This means that if a patient's record contains either piece of information, they will be part of the result set. Dragging concepts to a new panel will help to narrow your search results. In this case, dragging the term male to the next box creates a search that can be understood as Find patients with diabetes mellitus or a family history of diabetes mellitus and who are male. To exclude patients with specific criteria from your search, you can select Without for a panel that has those criteria. By doing that here, the search would search for patients with diabetes or a family history of diabetes and who are not male. As you add more concepts to a query, view the full query either by scrolling or by expanding the window using the icon here. In addition to combining medical concepts to build a query, using parameters in the query builder to specify additional limits can help to strengthen and refine your query. Setting a date range for a panel controls the time period searched during which a medical fact was recorded for a patient. For instance, to search for patients with a record of diabetes mellitus since 2022, you would enter from January 1st, 2022, and leave the to date blank. To search only for patients with a record of diabetes mellitus in 2022, simply add a to date of December 31st, 2022 to limit the end date of the search. Specifying a number of occurrences, meaning a number of times a medical fact is in a patient's record, can further limit searches to patients being seen more regularly or frequently for a given condition. This may indicate a more complete medical record by showing that a patient is in regular care, or might indicate a more severe condition where more frequent visits are necessary. Once your query is ready to run, click the Find Patients button. A pop-up window appears with several options for result details and formats. These are explained in a separate video. To simply get a count of patients for the query, just click Run Query.